Good morning, Suzanne Joy.
Good morning, Deborah, LeeAnn.
Oh, I love this topic. It feels like and we're recording on the day of the full solar eclipse new moon. Of course, it's not visible to us here in North America, but enjoy the rest of you people who get to see it. Um, the gene key pulse right now is gene key 4. Would you like to introduce it?
So, the Gene Key Pulse is we talk about the shadow gift and Siddhic state. Siddhic meaning the higher consciousness of it. So, the shadow state is intolerance, and out of intolerance is birthed understanding, and the from that is forgiveness, the highest essence of this key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this I'm laughing because it feels like everywhere you see, oh, the divine feminine is rising and Christ consciousness is being, downloaded into the human species and all of this exponential growth or awareness or additional ways of higher consciousness. I don't know, has to do with the feminine. And this key is so feminine. So because it has so much to do with the heart, right? And what I love, and I never really looked at before with the word intolerance, um, I remember my kids being taught about racial tolerance. And I thought that was the worst word ever because it's like putting up with the person it's not like you love them, somebody that's of a different race, but there's this tolerance, like I'll just let you be there, kind of an acceptance, but I don't even know about that. But anyway, so intolerance has a lot to do with not knowing. So, which hence the flip being understanding. So I didn't ever look at it that way before, is that if I don't understand something, I'm not really tolerant. And our minds are ever so slowly moving away from that, where we have to know and we have to know now. And if I don't understand, then just push it away. And we're really good at that. We can flip the channels in music or entertainment or social media sites so easily.
I was giggling this morning because I was thinking about that. I recollect a time in my life when my mom would say, "You just feel like you always have to be right,"
Yeah.
because I always pushed up against her edge, and that's what we did for each other. And I find it very interesting because the programming partner to this key is the 49, which is, if you think of intolerance and reaction,
Yeah, exactly.
and boom,
Yeah.
But when you think of the gift of it is understanding and revolution, because there's an a there is an acceptance or um, a a recognition of the totality of the experience or of one another, or
Yeah.
like
It's like opening to see things with new eyes,
right,
which I think has a lot to do with in the 4 and probably the 49 as well. It's opening your heart to
right,
see from here, not
and
from
not from here, right.
so limited. And for those of you who are listening, we're pointing to our heads there. So when we are understanding, this is more of an understanding from the heart and not just the mind. And so sometimes it means I have to let go with not understanding why that person is the way they are or why I did that thing that I'm not happy about.
Mm.
And this is the self forgiveness, which I made a note on this because this was so big that the self forgiveness is it's an operation of self love because when we have guilt over something we did, said, whatever, that is incomplete self love. And
Mm.
I heard that today. I mean, how many times do I listen to these things? And only when we get to a space of forgiveness, which is operating from the higher plane, if you can imagine spiraling above the heart space and encompassing our whole knowingness, our body and our mind and our heart, then we are able to completely forgive because we know on that deep, wide, expansive level. And that is when you can return non love with love.
And that the acidic state or the highest essence of the programming partner is rebirth.
I love that.
So it's, forgiveness and rebirth, or opening up whole new ways of relating.
Yes. And I feel like this is, after, I don't know, what is it, 14, 15 years of studying this material. I mean, as Richard evolves, it's deepening and widening as well. Um, However, there is something about our consciousness right now where this feels more available to me anyway. Like, oh, these waves of understanding are are washing over me. And because I've been saying for many years now, I aspire to be able to return non-love with love. And there are moments where I can get there, but most of the time I fail miserably. And then there's the and then I get to play with the self-forgiveness. Um, and now I'm seeing, this is when we are coming from our God self, from our omniscient, you know, loving self. I mean, love from the big capital L, love, that we can go, oh, got it. Of course, I love that person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, takes me years. Um, so examples of divine feminine and Christ consciousness. I don't know. I pretty much use those terms interchangeably because I feel like they both have a lot to do with the expansion of our um, heart self, our heart mind. Um, do you? I want to play with it a little bit on how can we talk to those listening about how does that feel in our bodies because I am trying to embody this divine feminine Christ consciousness heart expansion and I viscerally sometimes I can feel where my shoulders go back and I expand my heart space
Mm-hmm.
and then there's other times where I'm like oh no I'll just shrink back up inside my little turtle shell here and you know, and back away. So it's almost like a constriction or a fear based, I'm going to get hurt or a reaction like that. I'm playing with it because I'm trying for myself to recognize what are my own cues for when I'm beginning to shut down. And before
Mm-hmm.
we get all the way to the red light closed, no longer open for business space in my heart, I want to be able to stop and process and shift. Um, have you any thoughts on that? Breathing, that's one for me.
Yeah, I was going to say breathing. And I find myself now pausing and listening more,
Yeah.
not having to have the answer. As I reflected back to my mom, who was like, you always like have to feel like you've got it, get it right, or figure it out, or know it. And I feel like there's a knowingness, and then there's also I gotta know the answer, or this answer has to be the answer. And what I have gathered in my wisdom is that everyone has their own unique answer. And um, it doesn't have to be mine. Mine is everybody else's because that is ridiculous.
Oh, and I used to think that if somebody didn't agree with me and see things the same way, then they couldn't possibly love me because
Right.
I have
Right.
my identity. If you don't see things the same way, then you can't love me. And where that's an old story that I
Now
had.
that's a new, we're reframing that belief system
Yeah.
that if someone doesn't agree with us or doesn't see life through the same lens, of course we don't see each other, see life through the same lens. We haven't had the same experiences.
Yeah. Or same parents or lineage or whatever. Yeah, I know. It's like
So
ridiculous.
can we give each other a little grace? Just a little grace.
Yeah. Like, and not even just tolerance. I'm looking for, oh, acceptance. Oh, there's space for them in my heart. And what is it that I still have on the refrigerator that you wrote years ago, and put up there was let others voluntarily evolve.
Love.
Love. And oh, that's a whole nother way of I'm not here to change them. I'm here to be me. And like you said, you and your mother did, you unlocked each other, like you were pushing to know and understand in your own way.
Mm-hmm.
And you did that for your mom, or she did that for you. You helped in a healthy debate, maybe not always so healthy. I wasn't there, so I don't know.
We always get a little now wink, wink, nudge, nudge through the ethers. Like,
Hi,
I
Nancy.
am a half a century older than you. I was then. But then we come back to our timelessness, knowing that we're all interconnected anyways, whether or not we're on this planet or, beyond the veil. So
Still learning from each other, right? My mom,
exactly.
I have conversations with her a lot. Um, so, so I want to show you the mudra.
Okay.
And I love this because I use this a lot in my integral work with people. Is the right hand, the right side of our body, which is connected to the left hemisphere of the brain, is considered the masculine, the logical, the strong, the protective, and the feminine, which is the left side of our body, but also connected to the right side of our brain, is considered the feminine, the more expansive, the more loving, the more feeling and relational. So, what I love about this is you take your right hand and you hold it, you cup it underneath. So, it's like your right palm is facing up and your left palm is underneath it, holding it, cradling it, allowing it to be there. And at the same time, you touch your thumbs in a very, feels like a Buddhic gesture. And so you make a little triangle with your thumb. So it looks like this. Um, and what I love about this is I could do this all day long. Maybe not when I'm driving, but um, when I'm sitting in a conversation with someone, when I'm sitting in meditation for myself with myself, or it's not you're never alone, right? And what I want to remember is it's okay for my mind to want to know things, and that by the feminine, the deep, divine Christ consciousness type of feminine, we get to just go, yes, and and let's just love. No jest about it for sure. So,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
yeah. Blessings, everyone, on this solstice time and this solstice season. Not solstice, sorry, eclipse season. As we move through lots and lots and lots of changes, may you be well and may you remember that you too are a part of the sun and the light and the moon that are all moving through the skies.
Till next time.